Tonight, we deal with the Affordable Care Act's effects on businesses, small and not so small, and what changes are in store for our country's workers. News 5 WCYB's Rebecca Pepin did the research and gives us a closer look.
The biggest thing I've discovered, there is still so much we don't know yet. I spoke to an insurance broker who works closely with businesses to help them find coverage, and she's actually worked for a healthcare company in the past. And she's taken hours of classes on the Affordable Care Act, and she still has questions. So what can I tell you? The situation is fluid, with some provisions taking effect immediately and others not kicking in until 2018.
Food City is a grocery chain that operates stores in Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, and Kentucky. Its parent company, KVAD, employs 13,000 people. More than half are part-timers who help cover a small window of time when the bulk of Food City's customers flood the stores.
You know, we do 60% of our total volume between Friday afternoon and Sunday evening. So if you think about that, the other days, the weekdays are very slow, the weekends are very busy.
Under the Affordable Care Act, or ACA, Food City, because it has more than 50 workers, is required to offer health care to all full-time employees. And the new definition of full-time, according to the ACA, is someone who works 30 hours a week or more. If companies like Food City do not offer full-time workers health care, they must pay a $2,000 fine per person per year. That mandate has been delayed until January of 2015. But for many companies across the country, the wheels were already in motion, so they're going forward with making the changes now. For Food City, that means part-timers can now only work up to 28 hours a week.
We've had to reduce those folks' hours at no fault of their own. Good associates do a great job for us.
Food City President and CEO Steve Smith says it's an unintended consequence of the Affordable Care Act that he regrets. But he tells me, as a company that operates on just a 1% profit margin, providing health care for his 7,800 part-timers was simply not a viable option. Businesses across the country have had to make the same move, including retailers, fast food restaurants, and even community colleges. 21-year-old Matt Stanley is directly affected by hour cuts. He began working part-time for a lawn care company after his hours at a restaurant were slashed to 29 to help his employer get under the 30-hour requirement.
I was actually living in an apartment with one of my buddies, and that's when, we started getting our hours cut.
Stanley, who's saving for college, said his hours and income were reduced significantly. So much so, he moved back in with his parents and landed that second job.
Working 7 days a week, you don't really have much life to do anything, really, because you're always working.